I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, I think I need to share my entire screen because okay, so let me know as soon as you can see my screen. So good evening everyone. Welcome to today's class.
Good evening, sir.
Alright, so I think last class we started the class on Power BI. And one of the limitations I had was I couldn't use my system. So I found another method, right, to use Power BI. So I've just the reason why I've not started because I just want to show you guys to walk through. Probably can pick up one or two things from there. Could learn one or two things. It could be an advantage to us. That's why I decided I've not. I would just walk through the process. So so I think while it's starting, then I can just do some revision of what we did last week. So basically, I have an online server. So this is Microsoft Azure. Yes, so Azure is the name of the cloud service that they have, and I think Google's one is just Google Cloud. Oh, GCP. Yes, Google Cloud Platform, and Amazon is Amazon Web Service, AWS. So there are three. Those are the three big guys, right? When it comes to cloud services. There are other ones. There's DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean is quite big, and there are several others. So I'm currently using that. So what I did was I think I have a few credits, right? Because I pay for it, but I think I got some credits that I could use. So that's why I'm using this. Of course, if you have Google Cloud, I think Google Cloud gives you 100. Let me see, cloud dot. Google Cloud gives you $300 credits for 3 months for free. So that's when you're just starting to open the account. So you can just do one or two things with it. So since let me see, it's probably take a while to load. These things are quite heavy. Let me just show you. Uh, my phone. I don't have to stop. It looks like it's taking a while, so I'll just go ahead. So I've started this. So what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to connect to it. So there's another tool that I have that I download. No, I didn't necessarily download it. It came with my system, so it's called Remima. So basically, I use it to connect to the cloud. So I've set it up already. I set it up today. So what's going to happen is it's going to open um a Windows. So I installed Windows 11 on it. So this way, all all I have to do is have internet and start it up and pay for it basically. And it's quite fast. Like I can decide to do whatever I want to do with it. For instance, now currently I have 8 gig of RAM and my storage is 120 something because I don't really need it like that. So I've installed Power BI on it. Although I don't know as Kingsley Eunice, I don't know if uh Toby has been following the class, right? But I don't know if have you guys installed Power BI? We're supposed to install that in the last
Sorry,
class.
in the I think I missed the last class. In
Okay.
the courts where the informations are stored, I
Yeah.
don't think the last class is there.
Oh, really? That. Let me see. I don't think I can't remember. I can't remember too. I think I forgot. I probably think so. Oh my god. I think I forgot too. Let me see. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Maybe after this class, I will create the Power BI. Uh, I'm very sorry for that. That means most of you guys don't know about it. Okay, let me just go back to it. So, let me see. Okay, let's just do it like this. So basically, the last class they had the video, though I couldn't install it because I didn't have this, but I could I could run through it. I could uninstall it. It shouldn't take time. Um, programs. So basically, I've provided the link. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to provide the link again to download it straight up. So when you click on it, it just take you to where you download. And if you watch the last class video, you can download it easily. So what I'm just going to be doing in this class is I would install it afresh. I've downloaded it already. I had to set it up today because the other alternative I had was I couldn't get another system. That didn't work for me. So I had to use this. So I downloaded it already. Um, let's see. Okay, I think my network is a bit slow. That's the only explanation for this. Um, let me see. The network has been somehow since yesterday, although it was okay today. There's no way to check. Okay, let me just see. Should be here. Yes, it is. Wow, 2.56 gig. That's very large. So I'll just try to uninstall it, and that shouldn't take time. To delete something, to destroy something, it's within seconds. Building is what takes time. So basically, so why this is going on, I don't know why this is looking slow, but it's not obviously not the machine, obviously not the server itself. I think what is slow is the internet. So one of the downsides to this is if you don't have a good internet, you would not enjoy it because you won't be able to communicate. You have to be moving your mouse and interacting with it. So if the internet is not very good, you're not going to enjoy it basically. You're not going to have the best of experience. But if you have good internet, for example, your internet is really okay, you should be able to use a cloud server. Like this, you can do anything you want to do. You can keep files of it. Although it's out of this course, but under the circumstance that I had no choice, so I had to figure out something. So that was how I came about. So let's just install it afresh, since majority of us, and I've never installed it at all. I've not gone through that process, so we can just go through it together. So so basically, what we did last week, like I said, was going around. So I used Power BI online platform, right? That was what I used last class to do the introduction. So, but one thing we noticed was that um the online platform, the web platform was limited. It had a lot of limitations, right? And it wasn't like the best. It was because that was what I had at that point. I didn't think of this. I felt like I could make use of that and still have a wonderful experience and still be able to do everything that I want to do. So that way, we realized that it wasn't enough. It was not just going to be enough. So so in case you come across someone trying to convince you to do Power BI service, of course by now you should know that the desktop version is better than um the web service basically. So that was what we used in the last class. Then we talked about visualizations, how Power BI is basically Power Business Intelligence. It's a reporting tool basically, specifically meant for reporting. That's the job of Power BI. So definitely you expect that Power BI would be best, like would be the we have a lot of things, so we give you the opportunity to do a lot of to handle reporting easily, right? We easily very versatile. What else? Um yeah, basically compared to other tools. I mentioned that we did Excel, we did um reporting, that's dashboards with Excel. Of course, that wasn't the best, but it was something. The fact that Excel could do it, we had to give it a try, and we learned how to do that. But it's not what you're going to have to be doing out there as analysts. You might need to do it. Maybe you need to use Excel real quick, but to report, to visualize, you need something like Power BI. And I also mentioned there are other alternatives, right? Power BI just happens to be, how should I put it? Should I say very fluid? Uh, and probably easy to interact with. But then I found out last week that even Power BI is not the most used. Tableau is the most used. So let me see. I think okay, this is done. I can just start it. So while it's coming up, you can see how far Tableau. Tableau BLE. Yeah, so Tableau is Tableau. So Tableau is the other two. It's very, it's also very versatile. In fact, it had been, how should I put it? It is one of, that's been for long. Sorry, this is supposed to be Tableau. It has been in existence far before Power BI started. I think found out that we could look up something. So there's something like trends, Google trends. Let me just put Google. So I think we can see trends, yes, just to explore. Good. So what are we looking for? So we want to look at W. So let's put W here. TBLEAU. Sorry. EAU. Okay, so this is W, Data Visualization Company. Yeah, so W is a company that has interest only in visualization. Do you understand that Microsoft owns Power BI? And Microsoft, of course, is a very big company, but they are not majorly on visualization. They have a lot of service. So you can see how W has an edge over Power BI. Of course, if you ask me why are people using Power BI, then I can't say. It's also that most times people request for Power BI, and yeah, basically they just want Power BI, Power BI. So it's done. So it's supposed to be Power. Let me try this. Yes, good. Here's it. So now you can see the trends. Okay, this is just United States, so I can filter this. I can change it to, sorry, not that. So this happens a lot. To the worldwide. Then rather than past day, I could just do let's say past 5 years or 2004 to present. Okay, that's good. So now you can see, okay, let me visualize, let me up on it better. um Done. Good. So here we can see a trend. So you can see, obviously this is Power BI down here. You can see how Power BI went up all of a sudden. I think so that happened like probably 2018 and started going up. Why Tableau here just have just a long
Sorry, Power BI
search.
and Tableau, are they the same tools or different tools?
Power BI and Tableau, they are different visualization tool. but
Okay.
both are visualization too, meant for visualization. Exactly.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so we are just talking about which one is just widely used and what happens out there. So, I think my everything is working now. Yeah. So this is Power BI. You can see the installation wasn't even stressful at all. It wasn't that MySQL that you have to do a lot of configurations and all of that. So basically, yeah. So you can see compared to what we had in the web service, this is more comprehensive. We have we didn't have imports from Excel, we didn't have imports from SQL Server. I think we really had these two, and we didn't have all of these panels up here. So that's one of the advantage of the Power BI desktop over the web service. It's like I said, it's just comprehensive. So right here, can we can see if I click here, I should be able to see all the data sources. Yeah, so you can see these are all the data sources that you can import currently into Power BI. You can see they are even in segments. So different file formats, different from different database, different online services. It has the integration, so you can bring in a lot of whatever your data is. Power BI is able to handle it. Yeah, at least I'm sure of that to some extent. Let me put it that way, to a large extent, right? And we are going to be working more with Excel file and TXT file. So because of that, I prepared another drive. So I prepared another drive. I didn't copy the link. Sorry, hold on. I think it's is it here. No, it should be here. Yes, this is it. Yeah, so I've prepared another drive for data sets. So I think this is supposed to be let me see. Okay, actually it's in the same folder as all the files we had for the SQL, somewhere there. So I'm going to drop the link, and at the end of the class I will update the everything on Power BI on the Excel Google on the Google Sheets that we're using. So I'll just do that. It takes time. Okay, so while it's here already. So this is the SQL file. So you can actually use any data, but I've prepared a few data sets that you can use. You can, of course, by now it's no big deal for any one of us to go to Kaggle and get data that we want to work with. You can do that easily. So here it is, Power BI. So let me copy the link, share, copy link. So I'm just going to drop this on the WhatsApp group. Um, so I've dropped that. Then I'm going to go back to my server. Then I'm going to have to download it. Since this is what I'm going to be using throughout, so it's just okay if I download it here. So I'm going to download all the
So
so you
even
can
when installing it, it will give Windows users problem like the last SQL stuff.
no, I just installed it on Windows now. I just installed Power
Okay.
BI fresh. Like I installed the one I had and installed it again so that we could all see the process and see how easy and seamless it is basically. So you can see that it's not even stressful at all. I mentioned that that's one of the advantage of Power BI. It's very, very easy to use from the installation to using the software. Is all going to be drag and drop basically. There's no stress at all. So um waiting for this to download. Okay, I think you should just 19 MB. Yeah, another advantage of the cloud service is it's connected to the internet. So there's nothing like, so if I need to download something from the internet to this, it's not going to take time at all. It's pretty fast. So here are the data, right? So I think this was, we worked with this in SQL, so you can work with it. So for today, we just do something simple, right? So we try to work our way around Power BI desktop, try to understand some of the things that are there, and probably create something, maybe a simple visualization. And yeah, so basically that's what I have planned for us today. So since my Power BI is opened already, right? So looking at it, just looking at this, we have different segments, right? I can safely divide the whole, what I'm saying, everything, this screen, into one, two, three, four, let's say four parts. Yeah. So you can start from here, the top bar. So we have over here, we have a lot of tools, a lot of, remember, like I said, similar to Excel, Microsoft Word, because most of us have worked with Microsoft Word and Excel. So it's similar to it. We have ribbons here. So there's inserts, it gives you more functions. There's modeling, there's view, there's optimize. So basically this is more of like a top bar. Then you also have on your right, you have some another set of tools. So you can actually increase this span. All you have to do is click on it. So this thing, I'm clicking on this arrow. So it expands, right? That's a flitter. I can expand this data too. Then the visualizations is expanded already, so I could close everything. Then also I have this part that's left hand side. So we have the visualization part, the report view. We have the table view. So the table basically displays, there's a table here, and we have data modeling. So we get to see about that. So here is more like a schema. If you remember from Excel, we had tables and we had to connect them together. So it's possible that you have something like that. We'll just get to see it. Then finally, I think this one, two, three, and yeah, the fourth part is the middle part. This big old screen. It's a page. This is where you get to do your visualization. And if you remember this down parts, just you can just click on it to create a new page and all of that. So basically that's just, trying to understand what the Power BI looks like. Then we can now go ahead to import a data set. So let's import one of the data we have. So I think it's in downloads. um I think, should it be here? Okay, let me check. I just downloaded it. um oh, sorry, it's a zip file, so I have to extract it. So extract all, and extract here. So yeah, done, it's done. So let me just close it so I don't have too many opened tabs. I think I see not to. Okay, so cancel this, then re-import. Now to import, okay, let's just import the data first, although there are several ways to import. um Custom connectors. Wait, is this what sorry, downloads? Yeah, this is it. Power BI. Yeah, data sets. So let's see, let's do this. I think I know what is here. So it's loading up. So you can see. So this is the. I don't have Excel on this system. So if I try to open it, I probably won't get it to open. Just to see the contents. But it's an Excel file, and Power BI, it found this table in it, and it was able to separate it and bring it separately. So let me see if I can open the file itself. So you can actually just see the content, the actual content of the file. Let me see. Yeah, I hope. Okay, I think this thing come pre-installed with Word. Okay, it's not probably opening. It's not going to open. I don't have Word and Excel on it. But if you get to download it, you can open it and see the contents. You probably see it in Google the way you open it in Google Sheets. So, but right now we're just going to bring in. Let's see. Okay, yeah, good. I think I can see this. So this is a data. I'm just bringing this, then sales, and so Power BI is trying to preview it. I think I clicked on sales already. Then data. Um, I don't think I want to bring this in. So let's just do this. Then so you can see load here, right? And click load. So it's trying to load. So yeah, so here it is. So the data has been loaded into Power BI. You can see everything is done. Now you can, if you look at the very right, to the right of the Power BI view, you can see the four data, the four file we selected. So you can come to table view, and so all you have to do is just click the data. So you can see the first one. This is one, and if you check the people, so you can see the contents of the people file. I think I have products too. So here is products, and here is sales. So this is a chocolate data set. I saw it on one YouTuber's channel. I decided to download it. So this is a chocolate data set. Um, it has sales, so they are, it's probably a company, from a company, so it could maybe a company that sells chocolates, and they have a record of their data of how they made sales. So all of these things. So for instance, now in the location data, it contains their region, where let's say where they have stores basically. Then the people data contain, the people table contains the salesperson, probably have it same, and it also has a picture. Then we also have products. So this means that the specific products, like all the products they have in their system, so the size, the categories, the product itself. I think from here you can basically just click on this. I think this would filter, so you can see. So it works basically like Excel. So you can see large, small. So you know that these are just the two categories that are there. If you check category, yeah, click on it. Yeah, so you can see we have bytes, we have bars, and we have orders. That's like three categories basically. And if you go back to the sales, you check the sales, you're going to see the salesperson, the geography, the products sold, the dates, the amount that was sold by this person on these dates, right? And the customer, number of customer attended to, then probably boxes. So you can see that. So then this is the model view. So the model view tries to connect all four data. So we have four tables now, trying to bring all the tables together. Let me close this. If I can have more space, I think I'll close this too. Yeah, so you can see the four data sets. Sorry, the four table. This is the product, the sales, the people, and the location. So what Power BI has done is that it has tried to connect everything together. If you remember when we were doing SQL, that we had to connects tables together. You do that manually, but what Power BI does for you is that it detects, it tries to see a connect, there's a connection between one table and the other table, right? So this is just trying to make this, expand this. Yeah, so you could see it clearly. So you could see that this is the sales. The sales is connected to the products. The people is connected to the sale, but its location has no category. So how did this happen? Let's hold on. So if you look at the product's table name is the same thing as products here, and people here, um, I think people is supposed to be connected to salesperson. Yeah, so Power BI was able to detect that easily. Okay, yeah, look at it. Oh yes. So there's salesperson in this data and there's salesperson in this data. Also in this particular one, there's products here and there's products here. So it was able to detect that. But with this data and this data, there's no connection. There's no similar names. For instance, now everything here you have can be similar to this is geo here and is geography here. So the names are not the same, which is why it's not connected. So the rest are connected because they have the same name, and Power BI says that, oh, we have the same data content in it, so it automatically merge that together. Now what do? We can actually merge it ourselves, right? Simple. All we have to do is select this and do this. I'm just going to place it on geography, and that should do the trick. Yeah, so you can see it's now connected already. So I think if I move it up, yeah, so you can see that it's now connected now. Now also, there's another thing. So if you look at, let me try to bring this to this side. It's not going to stay on there. Okay, let's just stay there. So now if you look at this, we have there's this sign. You can see this arrow. You can see the arrows in the connections. These arrows show that um this is connecting to this. Like this data is connecting to this. This is connect. You can see the flow. Now that's basically the flow. And also we can see at the edge of the arrows we have numbers. There's one here and there's star here. So this one means that one from this data is going to many. So if you remember when we're doing SQL, we have to do select star. So where star means select all. So the same thing is applicable here. The star means all, like many. So usually we refer to it as many. So when you see one to star, you can see the flow. So it's like one to star. So it means one to many. So it means that one record here is multiplied in this place. So there are plenty places where it is connected to. Same with this one to many, one to many, because this is like the major um table containing all the data. So these rest are just to give insights to it. So normally should I do that? Okay, yeah. So we have, so when you see star to star, that's like many to many. When you say one to one, that's like one to one. I think we have one to one, we have many to many, we have many to one, and yeah, I think that's just the three, if I remember correctly. So it can be, if this arrow is facing the other way, then it will be many to one, and if it's just one here, then it will be one to one or one to one, and if it's star here, to be many to many. Yeah, so basically that's like the connection, but you don't really need to bother yourself about this starting from, you're just trying to check around. So we can come back to our report view. Okay, so before we continue, do you have any question? Any question? Okay, looks like a question. So let's go back. So yeah, I wanted to mention, okay, so while I was importing this data, I wanted to mention there are other ways to import your data in. For instance, there's this parts. We had that table there, so it was easy, but you could use here, so you could easily connect your data most of the time. So you can see the way it's arranged. Most of the time you need to connect to Excel or CSV. I think with this, so yeah, this you can easily just click on it and take you straight there. And I think file. Okay, is this coming up? Okay, it's actually slow. Yeah, so you can also see imports here. So you could also import, sorry, so you could also import from here. You could get data. So there are just multiple ways bringing your data into Excel. In case the method you usually use is not showing up, then you can easily find your way around. You won't, because you won't be stuck because of one source is missing, right? So now let's do something simple, right? Let's just see how easy it is to create visualizations. So let's say we want to, looking at our data now, let's go back to it. So let's say we want to do something with the sales data, right? Don't forget, the point of analysis is to answer questions. To answer questions, drive your business. So the point of your analysis should always be that you're trying to uh, bring insights basically. So we have sales, we have salesperson, we have geography, we have products. One thing we'll be interested in particularly is to see um maybe the products that have been sold the most, right? So we could come back here. So probably need to use a bar chart. Yeah, so last class I mentioned that there are so many bar charts, so many charts, sorry, like a lot. So you can just beyond this there are more charts, and I would not go into that, but there's also integration with Python programming language, but we're just going to leave that. And let's pick a bar chart. This is an area chart. um it's supposed to be, okay, let me just do this. So I'm just going to drag this. So it's supposed to come up. So I'll double click on it. Okay, so here it is. So here's the chart. So you need to add data into it basically. So I can say I can enlarge it, I can make it smaller, to whatever I want to do with it basically. So let's add contents to it. So don't forget what we wanted to do. So we open this back. So this chart now has x-axis. You can see this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis because of this bit. So we have x-axis and we have a y-axis. So what we want on the x-axis is how should I put it? It's like more of like a categorical data. So open sales, and don't forget you actually want to check products. So just put products here. So you can see products is there. Of course, it won't show anything now until you have added the y-axis. So what we are going to add on the y-axis, we'll probably add the boxes. So let's say boxes. So we have added boxes, so you can see the data now. Okay, let me zoom it in. No, I can't zoom, but I'm going to make it bigger. So I'm making this bigger so we can see it basically. So so you can see the boxes now. You can see the chart itself. You can see we have the sum of boxes and we have the product name here. You can see orange choco. So I'm just putting my mouse on it, like just highlighting on it. You can see the results. You can see what is showing. Um So another thing I mentioned last class, like Power BI is interactive basically. So I can click on this and select only this, but you won't see the effects now. And until I bring in more data, until I bring in more visualization. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to, so if you want to undo this, you just click on it again. So when you click on it, then you would, so let's resize this back. Sorry. So I'm going to resize this. So I just want to bring in another table. So this is another one. So let's do something else. So let's bring in let's say we want to see the salesperson and the probably the goods sold the most. So to do that, I'll bring in another one. So sorry, just double click on it. That will do the trick. Uh, okay, I think let me see, maybe because it's still selected. Is this network? Okay, okay, still working. So let me, okay, I probably don't want to do this. To create a new chart. Let me slow it down. Okay, probably I should, okay, if I'm still connected to this, then my network is still working. So I don't want this selected. Take this, then come on. Yeah, okay, that's okay. Wow. So I'm going to put it on the side here. My network is becoming terrible. So what I want to bring into this now, I think we mentioned salesperson, right? So we want to use, I want to check and see details of the salesperson. So the salesperson is probably going to, so let me change this to a column chart. So you can, if I click on this, it's just going to change it automatically. So I could put, so I'm going to put the salesperson on the X axis. Also now it has changed. So this is now the Y axis, this is the X axis. So if I'm going to put the value, if I'm going to put the category data, it should be on the Y axis. So I'm going to take this and put it on the Y axis instead. Come on. Okay, done. Then for the X axis, I'm going to bring in the boxes. I could just bring in, yeah, let me bring in boxes. And yep, so here is the data, here's the visualization, and looks like this is not going to work like that because there's a lot more goods. If you can actually scroll down on this, you can see it's scrollable. So what I'll do instead is I'll try to maximize this and just make it bigger. Now we have two different goods. Oh, how do I put it? Sorry, we have two different tables. I meant to say two different visualizations. This lets you know the persons, like the salesperson that had like more box and that had more goods, Then also this also let you know the products. We can see that it is orange choco that is topping the chart here. Now on this place you are going to see that caffeine or Carlin McCaffrey has the highest number of boxes. So now if you click on, let's say we click on orange choco now, you can see how this has changed now. So what you're seeing now is just um the data that the person, you can see that it has actually changed the effect. So it's more of like a flitter, a flitter. So clicking on this, they had filtered out the ones that it needs to be filtered. We could also change this if you don't want it like this. For instance, you want the actual thing to show. You could think there's an option for let me see. So this is an interactive feature, right? So we have to remove, think we can remove the interactive, I think it's this. I remember how to get there again. Okay, it's not that. Oh, sorry. So I want to select this table, this charts. Oh, cool. I think the option is supposed to be here. More options. Um, okay, is it? What is it? Let me see. It has. Oh, it's not allowing me to do that. Okay, it's supposed to change. There's an option to do that. I think this is spotlight. Okay, spotlight is changing it. Don't know, I can't remember where it is now. But you know, there's a feature like that that can allow you to see the actual uh that can allow you to see the actual thing that was implemented, like the actual charts, the range. So it's going to remove all of this. This is more of like scaling. It's just showing you the percentage of this particular thing. Let me remove this back, this spotlight sort of thing. So this, selecting this is basically just showing you how the percentage of this particular selected peanut butter cubes in the sales of these guys. So you can see automatically that it's this person that has the highest sales for this particular goods. So you can, let's, I don't like the way I'm actually doing this visualization. It's not looking, this is why I don't like visualizations anyways. So I'm going to undo this. Come on. What's going on? Everything is supposed to be selected. Oh, okay, network. So everything is back to normal. So I'm going to delete this. Okay, we can go to another page, right? And continue. Of course, we are not supposed to be doing that, right? We are supposed to fit in, at least this should be able to take four different visualizations if you order them. It could even take more actually. But let's just, for the advantage of what we have, we can use as many as possible. But that's not going to be very okay. But let's just go on since we are just starting afresh. So we have done something on this. So let's see the products. We have products, we have category, we have size. We could also bring out a table. There's a table feature. Just bringing out the basics. So this is a table, this is a matrix. So let's use a table instead. Yeah, so on this table you can add um you can bring in data into it to see something like what do you want to say. So I'm just going to add data field. So which one should we select? Let's bring in products. My social is selected. Okay, this is not dragging, so let me just this. So bringing it in. Alright, so you can see category. So you can see with the three categories we have, then I'll add products to it. Then you can see the products now, and I would bring the size into it. So you can see, so I can expand this just like this. Sorry. Okay, yeah, cool. So you can see the table. With this, you can even add another visualization to it. So let's add very small visualization. So let's say we want to add a table for region. Let's just do region, something small. So to do that, let me just use a bar chart. So your stacked column chart is actually another word for bar charts. So bring this in, drag it here. My mouse is here already. I guess my network is not fast enough. If your network is not fast enough, you wouldn't enjoy using a cloud server. So on the x-axis, I'm going to have definitely geography there. Come on. Then on the y axis, what I'm going to have there, so I'm supposed to have a value. Like I said, it's values, but you could also put something here, but let's just put values. So we are going to use let's say boxes. This is taking a bit. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why is this slow. Um, okay. Okay, let's just continue. Let me see. That's freezed. Okay, so it's in already. So you can see the boxes are in. So you have, so just like trade, since the network wasn't durable, so you have x-axis geography. Then on the y-axis we have boxes, sum of boxes. So you're wondering why is this sum of boxes here and it's just boxes here. So what's happening is that Excel has identified that these are numbers. You can see a the e sign, yes, so it's like sum basically. Then this can say a calendar here, like dates, and these ones are just there because you can't tell basically. Of course, they're going to be letters like strings, but you can see these ones are numbers and this is like a calendar. So so that's how we got this. So basically, if you want to see it properly, you have to just click on this. Okay, I think I have to switch my network now. Just sorry. um I don't know why it's slow. um just to be sure, are you guys still with me? Can you hear me? um just check. Okay, I should be connected now. And are you guys still with me? Eunice, Kingsley, can
Yes,
anybody
yes,
hear me?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so so I think this should be better now. Okay, yeah, this is better. So yes, I was explaining about boxes. So you could click on here and you see there's this, okay, I think it's new measure. So there are just different things that can be done with it, but at a later time, maybe in another class, we get to see about this. but today we are just doing something basic, like we're just doing with the basics. So I have a box data here. Yeah, I think the network is better now. And let me just leave it small as this and bring it down. Yeah, so I have the box data here and I have a table here. So now I could decide to change something, for instance, maybe select bar, and you see what happens to everything. Then also think there should be a way to uh, edit these things, right? So just 1 second. Okay, yeah, so this data enlarged, but I don't want it enlarged. Okay, good. So I think you should be able to add some things here. For instance, now this is the texts are too small, so we probably want to increase it. I think it's the columns. Trying to see where the text is. Okay, if I can't find it, then I can just use text text, and it comes out automatically. So I'm trying to work on the size. So rather, I could just use size instead. SISE, and this should do the trick. So the x-axis, I want to increase the size from probably make it bigger, so like maybe 14. Let's see what 14 looks like. Yeah, 14 is bigger. Let me try 15. Okay, this is good. Then try to do this. Sorry, to click on this. Then expand it. Where's my mouse going out? Okay, good. Yeah, so it has been expanded, right? But okay, I'm seeing some things. Good. So now here it is. You can see the data. But now I'm seeing some things. I'm seeing India, I'm seeing New Zealand, I'm seeing USA, I'm seeing Canada, I'm seeing UK. This is supposed to be unique. Actually, it's just supposed to be only one appearance, only one occurrence. So something is wrong, right? But we don't know where. So now let's go to our table. Something is probably wrong, very wrong. So we don't know what exactly is wrong actually, but there are some things you can actually do. For instance, it could be that there's extra spaces. So what we are going to do is we are going to try to see how we can sort that out, right? So in the table view, the table lets you it gives you an overview more of like what you're seeing um in Excel. Basically, you can see all your tables like in a it's more of like a how should I put it? Let's say Google Sheet, something like that. So you can actually see it. Then we are going to try to um so what I want to actually do is I don't want to transform this yet. So I want to so looking at the data now here. So you can see space, see New Zealand. Look at USA. You can see there's obviously something wrong here. If you see Canada now, Canada is not on the left last space. So you can see that all of these things, you can see how the data is. So this is a big deal, like a big deal. So if you remember from Excel, where we had to do with removing spaces, I don't know if anybody still remember. We spent a lot of time on Excel. So we can apply the same thing that we did in Excel. You can do it here. And I think there's something that helps us to remove spaces. So if you remember, we have the trim function. So trim, if you remember in Excel, trim as a function to remove spaces, extra spaces. So that was we are going to use here. So you click on trim. So trim automatically remove the steps. It automatically removes the spaces. So you can see now that there's no space on this data again. It has been trimmed, like rightly trimmed. Of course, we don't know about the rest, but I think we can try to do that. So trim, then try to do it for the products too. Transform and trim. Sorry. So I've trimmed it. Now let's close this and apply. Okay, so I've done that now. So what has happened in Excel? Sorry, I said Excel. What has happened now in Power BI is that it had edited the file and removed the spaces. Now it's not going to affect the file that you have. For instance, the files that I have outside of Power BI that I have in my location here, it's not going to affect it. Well, what is happening that is after the data was imported, the way Power BI is going to see it is that after it creates imports, it will trim the spaces. You can do that outside of it, outside of Excel, outside of Power BI. You can do it in Excel before bringing it in, or you could also do it in Power BI in a way that it does not affect your data itself. Now, what I just did now, which is to transform it, you could actually do it when you are loading it. So probably I'll show us that maybe when we are loading data the next time. So I've done that now. Then we can now go back to here. So you can see that this has changed automatically. So it's not just India, New Zealand, Canada, Australia, UK, and USA. And I think if you go back to page one, okay, it still doesn't. That means this was not affected. We didn't do anything similar to that. So you can see now that these are just the countries. So if I should, so I want to take this out. So I'm going to remove size and I'm going to remove products. Good. So now we have just three things. So let me try to make this bigger. So I want to select it first and come to this place. So I want to increase the text basically. So text, just press text. Also, you could just use size. Size. Good. Then the size changes. So you could say 15. Yeah, it's now bigger now. Then see, I think I can bolden it. Of course, I'm supposed to bolden the header rather. I just want to make it clearer. Okay, so now we can just see this theory. So what I'm going to use this theory to do is more of like a filter. So if I click on bytes, you see what happens. If I click on order, you see the percentage is changing. If I click on bars, you see what happens. So basically that's more of like a filter, but there's another tool meant for that, which is called it's called a slicer. I think we talked about slicer um in Excel. So a slicer is more of like a filter. So here is it, slicer. Oh no, sorry, let me change this back. That's supposed to be a table. Then I'll click outside and select the slicer. Yeah, so here it is. So the slicer is here. So drag it, sorry. So we have a slicer now. So you could add different fields to it. For instance, let's say we want to do size. So just add size to it. And it has as a filter for your size. So if I click on the large, you can see it has changed. It's just large selected. If I click on small, small is the only thing selected. If I click on bytes, this is not a filter, of course. Oh, it's inside the table. But you could also use it as a filter. but it's actually not meant for a filter. So large and small, um, small then order. So you can see, so with this now I have two different filters. I have reduced it to small, so the only data you are seeing here is just for small. And when I click on order, it shows the percentage of order in the three categories basically. So we could do more than this, and but let's just see how to go about making this chart looks better, how we can edit it. So you could come back here. So let me reset this. So I'm clicking this, I click on the small back and it's back to full. So I'm back to this. So no, not meant to do this. Yes, so now I can edit it. So the x-axis, I can do whatever I want to do with it, right? The title, I can change the title to, let's say, geography, PHY, I think I'm correct. Yes, so you can see geography here for the X labels. Then you could also do for the Y. Okay, before we go to the Y labels, I think these are the values. So you could change the colors. Okay, I think this is the color of the text, right? So I could just do black. Let's do that to black. Then close this back, open the titles, then bolden it. What else? You could change the color here, so you could increase the font size. You could say 15. Okay, 16. This is 16. Then you close this. Now this is under the x-axis. You could also do for the y-axis, and you could turn it off, but that's not advisable. You always want to see it. Then the title, I could say, okay, this title is supposed to actually be countries, so I'll go back to change that to countries. Then this will be like sum of boxes. I think it's correct already, so we don't need to do much, but we can increase the size to 16 just to make it bigger. Then I think I boldened the other one. Okay, so let me go back to change the title of this to countries, or just country actually. Shouldn't be countries. Country will do. Yes, good. So you could also add other things. We have grid lines, we have labels, you have plot area, so you could explore and see other things that you want to do. You could also change the try to edit this, like rather than doing this, you could come here to change the heights manually. Lock aspect ratio means that you want it to be in that same, you don't want it to change right and left. For instance, now I shouldn't be able to, I think the aspect ratio is supposed to lock. When I lock it, I should be able to do that. So it's just going to remain in that shape. So if I try to do this, everything will go bigger. What's not doing? So so you can basically add other things, but this is like if you want to explore. So let's do, I think we have done basically importing the building something. So let's just, I'm going to delete this. Okay, let me undo it back. Yes, so one more thing is, so when you want to save this, you can actually save it, but when you are saving it, you are saving it in a particular format. For instance, Power BI is the format where you save it. There's a save button up here, that's save. So if I click on save directly, you can see this thing, it says Power BI file. So it's going to save it at .pbix. That's the name of the extension for a Power BI file. So when you see this, you know that it's a Power BI file. It's something that you can only open with Power BI itself. So we are going to name it, maybe let's say class 1, something like that. Save. Let's save it in downloads. So it's saving. So one thing I can do is I can close all of this now, right? So it's not going to ask me any question. So I've closed the Power BI now. So I'm going to go back to the file. So you can see it here, class 1, Microsoft Power BI. So yeah, Microsoft Power BI desktop documents. So if I click on this now, it's going to open it straight up, open the application and open that exact thing that we did, that we worked on. So it's coming up. Okay, and it's not supposed to take this long. So this is more of like when you are working on something and probably need to do something else, you can just save it like we did with, if you're working with Word documents, you save it and you go and do something else, close your application, you shut down your system, and when you come back to it, you still meet it there, right? So that's the way this also works too. So what I'm going to do now is, okay, I'm not going to clean this, I'll just leave it there. So let's go back to the first visualization. Let's try to uh make something out of this. So I'm just going to delete this and delete this. So I clicked on it and I delete, right? So now let's do something on, let's say, the location. Should we do something on the location? I think we are still working on sales, right? So we could bring in customers. So there are customers, but the customers is in numbers. So let's say we want to see the salesperson um with, let's say, the person that brought in the plenty customer. How should I put it? The salesperson that sure has like the interaction with a lot of customers. So to do that, we can also use stack charts, right? So bring this. So I'm using a bar. Yeah, I can just leave it at a decent place. Then select the data. That's the salesperson. So I'm just let me try to bring this instead. So salesperson will stay on the X, while customers will stay here. Good. Now another thing I'm not sure is I think we transformed it already to be sure that we're not having repeated customers, we're not having repeated salesperson. So I want to see if they are repeating the repetition. So I can just leave it like this. I want it like this. Yes. Then take this up. Yeah, so we can try to make this better. But before then, I'm going to add regions to this as a filter. So bring a slicer in. Oh, sorry, that's a mistake. I was supposed to unselect, then click on the slicer, and probably put it here. So what I want to add to it is region. Region. Good. So I have a region here. I could also add a text box. So let's say I want to put a big title here. So I can just bring this down. Bring this down. There's text box here. So I'll just click on this and okay. Let's say what we want to write inside is chocolate data sets. Chocolate data. Let's just put data sets. I don't have a better name. Then increase the size, obviously. Let's say 28. Okay, can do better. Then bolding it. and probably put it into the center. Yep, so with this we can resize it. Then we can adjust the position. I want to take it up, so I'm just going to um it's not going to allow me to do that. Come on, I need to take this up without selecting inside. uh okay, let me see. It's supposed to come up. um so here it is. So I'm putting it up here now. Good. So another thing is you can change the color, right? So let's just say blue. Sorry, I didn't select it. Blue. Good. Then I can now decide to probably change the background. So I can just search color here. Color. So you can see background here, white. So to change that, I can say we want the background to be, let's say gray. Okay, let's say darker. Good. So we have this already. So back to this, I'll shift this up back. Then this one, I'll probably leave it here. I'll make it smaller. Yeah, push it up here. So you can see everything is snapping into places, right? It's not that it's overlapping. If it wants to overlap, definitely I would know, but it's helping me to adjust. You can see it's just snapping into it. So I can add another detail. Let's say we want to add the pie charts. So let's do a pie chart. I think it's a pie chart. Oh no, 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 no. I didn't intend to do that. So don't forget. Then click on the charts. It creates down here. I want it here. And expand it, make it bigger. So it's supposed to snap. Yeah. Yeah. So what are we putting into? So let's put in we have region here. We have salesperson here. We can put in should we put in products? Okay, let's put in regions. I think we have just 4 countries, right? So we can put in regions. So we could say regions. No, I think it should be here. Then wait, what if I select this? Oh, okay, cool. So we have New Zealand. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. So here is now like this is a data containing. I think we can't see the names of this, so I'm going to try to make it bigger. So let's edit this. No, sorry. So you click on it. So basically everything in Power BI just double is click, drag, and drop. I mentioned it already. So what I'm going to try to do here, I'm going to try and increase the size of this text. They are very small, even me I can't see it. So we are going to try to increase that. So it will be x-axis. Let me see. I think can do values. Is it gonna be this? Oh no, sorry. Here. So this is big. This is big enough, but we might not be able to see it. So I'm going to change this to a bar. I'm going to change the chart like this, right? So we can see it better. I can probably bring this. Okay, I think there's still space. Yeah, so I think we can work like this. So let me make this bigger. Let me make this bigger. So the count of geography. So click on this, then format your visualizations. So it's basically the legends. So these are called legends. They are used to identify what you have on your graphs. So that should be text, then size. So you can see it's getting bigger. So I think this would do. Although to be bolding it is not a common practice, it's better to just leave it as it's big, right? You don't get to bold everything. So I think with this, okay, that's the legend. Then the slices, no, the labels. I think I should be able to increase the size too. Good. Yes. So the label contents, we don't want it labeled as that. I want it labeled, first of all, I want it inside. Let me see, is that good enough? No, I don't want it overflowing. I think if I put it inside, okay, so if I click hold on it, yeah, it's going to show something. Then I want the label to be let's say percent. Exactly, so this is way better. And okay, so let's just stop here. Yeah, so this is like two things. So basically here we have the sales, the name of the salesperson, and the goods they sold, the number of customers they sold to, right? So this person, Vanks Stockswell, used to be our should I say favorite or best employee or best selling salesperson. And you can also see the location. So one thing I can do now is I can just hold on this, and we're going to see the regions. So what has happened now is it has reduced. This has reduced. You're now seeing the percentage. That means this person was actually in all the regions, so probably transferred from one location to the other and all of that. Yeah. So I think there's someone, there should be someone that's not been in all the location. Okay. So another thing is you can now filter with region. So if you pick Europe now, the only country in Europe is UK. And you can see the top now is now Magdalene Upscotts. So if I click on Magdalene Upscotts, you can see she has 4%, 4.4% total sales made in UK. So if I change my location to, let's say, countries in APAC, that includes these three countries. So we have New Zealand, we have India, we have Australia. Oh, Van Toxwell is back. You can see him. If I change this to America, we have Canada and we have USA. Canada is taking 51%, while USA is taking 48%. You can also see Van Toxwell topping the board. So this is telling us that Van Toxwell is like is our most valuable person. Yeah, MVP. Has been to almost all the sales. I think the only place he has not been to is Europe. I think. Yeah, he's not here. Oh, he's also here. Look at him. Bangkok, so 4317. So so that means when we did this, when we clicked on Bangkok's, you can see all the region he has been to. He has 0.74% here, 6.9%. Okay, this one we can't see it. So I think if I make this bigger, I should be able to see some of this thing properly. So I know I've covered that, so I'll just drag it down and let it snap. So this is like something simple, because I said there are more. So maybe the next class we'll get to do some transformation. For instance, we can deal with this text. You can see that it's first name and second name. And in Excel, remember that you can actually trim, you can break things into pieces, you can extract, you can, for instance, this is a date time also. You could also do something around dates. I think it's from 20, I think it's a 2021, from January 2021. So I think if I click on this, um, okay, I want to sort in descending order. So I think it's all, um, okay, this is 2022. Oh, so from January 2021 to 2022. Yes, so this is from January 2021. So this data set from January 2021 to 2022. So we could do something around the dates. We could expand this. For instance, we have amount, we have customer, we have boxes. We could do something like, probably customer times boxes or amount times boxes will give us the total sales, like the amount of the sales that was made by this person on these products. So on these products, we could actually see, or we could even see the country itself. Maybe it was Canada that sold the most, or it was India that actually had more sales, or USA. So you can actually see that distribution. And we could also do trends, but we also get to see that. Then I think, yeah, then we've talked about this model, how you can um, connect them. Of course, now we'll probably have to do some, and not all data you bring, you have to do all of this. But in case you're working with a data set like SQL data sets that has a lot of tables, maybe subsection, for instance, the Instagram data we worked on, you probably need to do something like this because they might not be connected, right? Good. So do I have any questions? Any question? Okay, there's no questions. So I said it, Power BI is a lot easier. So in summary, um basically what we did today, or what we have done today, is basically run through the installation of Power BI from the scratch, and we imported data, a data sets, and I think it's Excel. It's an Excel data set that we imported. Let me see, is it Excel? Yes, it is an Excel dataset, XLS. So we imported it and we had four tables in it. So we had the location, people, product, sales. This was the ones we selected, and we created, went on to do a simple visualization. Although there was an issue with one of the data sets, that was the geography data. It had spaces. So what we did was we tried to transform it, and we we used edit query here. So edit query will take you to Power Query Editor. We're not supposed to have gone into this properly, but we do that. So with this, we were able to make changes to the file, and I think if I undo this, yeah, so undo it, you can see what the data looked like originally. So all you have to do was right click and use transform, trim, and it removed all the spaces. This fixed our error. Although you can do numerous things with this. You can see you can remove duplicates, you can remove errors, you can change the type, that's the format. You could transform it. Probably you want to add something to it, right? You could do a lot, but that was what we actually need for, to just trim. Sorry, do I need to do this? So it's just to trim the data, and you close and apply. and it automatically gets applied to your Power BI data. And on doing this, it changes what you have here automatically. So they are all connected. Everything is connected in Power BI. Don't forget, Power BI is very interactive. So you clicking on this is affecting this. If I click on this part, you can see it's affecting this. I'm saying, for instance, I think this is Australia. So clicking, highlighting on Australia is changing and giving me all the, is resetting this. It's showing me all how Van Toxwell is doing in Australia. So you can see we have salesperson, we have sum of customers, and we have highlighted. So out of 29,791, the highlighted is 3,527. That's what's that's the proportion that Van Toxwell has in Australia, basically. So that's how to interpret that. And some, you don't need to undo that. I just click this back and it's all gone. And you don't really need to click on, you can just, I'll stay on it and you see whatever is happening. All right. And I also went on to show how to edit, edit your visualization, do some extra work on it. And I think finally we saved this so that we could easily send it to, you could share it around, probably between friends, and or you need to move your work from one place to the other. So basically that is what we did into this class, and yep.